and ask Bruno Aziza to join us on stage. And he is going to take us through a quick demonstration. He's our worldwide business architect as it relates to business intelligence. And let him take you through a couple of examples to back up what I've said. Bruno?
Thanks, Bob.
Great.
Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here as well. I think beyond the sun, as a person from the south of France. I live in Redmond, so I have to live through the rain myself. I'm used to very sunny weathers. But I am excited as well because I think I get to show you one of the coolest pieces of technology we have to offer today. Also, I think to your point, Bob, a lot of what I'm going to show you today is software that many of you own already. You already have the licenses to everything I'm going to show you. And a lot of it is taking a look at the assets you have inside your organization and making sure you're taking advantage fully of them. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what a real customer does with the latest versions of SQL Server and SharePoint Server today.
That's an important point. While the name is a demo, this is actual demonstrations of a customer that's already implemented everything we're talking about, right?
That's right.
All right.
And to show you how all of this comes together, I'm going to assume the role of an operations manager. I think it's also an important point. Here, I'm not going to play the role of a specialist. I'm going to play the role of any of you, somebody in the business that wants to gain insight from the data they have. So as you can see here, I'm just simply searching through Outlook. And as you see, as I'm typing, you can see that Outlook is just coming back with different searches. So it's a type functionality. It's very useful for me because I got a lot of emails and I got to find things pretty quickly. Okay, I see that this is the link to my dashboard page. As you see, it's very personalized. What I'm opening here is all hosted in SharePoint. It's 100% web, and it's personalized for me. In fact, what you're looking at here is a reflection of my day. At the top left, I have my action items for my calendar coming straight from Outlook. At the bottom here, I have my Word documents, my Excel documents, maybe my PowerPoints, things that I might have shared with Bob as we're discussing the business. At the bottom right here, I have also the people on my team that I need to be able to connect with. Because let's face it, making decisions is more than just looking at reports and analytics. It's also the ability to connect with other people, the ability to manage content management, the ability to search, in addition to business intelligence. So in order to start taking a look at my production dashboard, I'm just going to simply click here. Again, as you're looking at this, remember, 100% web, personalized for me. I'm taking a look here at my dashboard and scorecard. Great functionality that not only is very visual, but also very familiar. You get very little training to start using this application. You can see I can take a look at my plan here, and when I put my mouse in different parts of the data, it tells me a story. It actually tells me the numbers behind this data, the variance, and so forth. I'm noticing here that my plan's a little bit off for the month of April. So I want to investigate this. So I take a look at my variance report at the bottom. Again, when I put my pointer, I can easily see what the exact variance in euros is and what it is in percentages. So I'm going to simply click on that, and now I get a level lower than that, where I can get a sense of what are the oil rigs that are causing a problem. You can see this one is clearly standing out. That's the Cimarron oil rig. So I want to further investigate this because, of course, just looking at data like that, sometimes it's not visual enough. It's not easy for me to start interpreting this data. Now, what you're looking at is exactly the same data we looked at earlier in the dashboard, but now it's through a visual map. And that's a great piece of functionality SQL Server offers you today, is the ability to display information in a format that's very intuitive for you. And I think this is important to state here, and this is why Microsoft Business Intelligence is different than anything out there, is that we put that in a very familiar environment so that your information workers and your managers can get straight to the data much faster. And again, this is a live map. I can move that map. Now, of course, I can see everything is color-coded here. I can see my oil rigs that are doing well. They're in green. The ones that are doing poorly, that's the Cimarron one. But often when you want to make decisions, you rely on internal information. Sometimes in the business of oil, as many of you might experience, you're affected by external factors like temperature. So what we've been able to do here is provide you with this information right here. See if I click on temperature here. Now it's overlaying external data to my company, which really mixes the information, allows me to make better decisions. Still, I know that the Cimarron oil rig is a problem, so I'm going to further investigate what's going on there. Again, through one simple click, and now I'm able to look at the 4 metrics that are running the Cimarron oil rig. This is what the person at this oil rig is looking at on a daily basis. Now, as said earlier, I'm an operations manager, so I don't know all the details, and I'm looking at these 4 metrics. I can see my gas trend, I can see my oil trend, I can see the other metrics, but I have no sense to see if they're actually doing poorly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare them to an all rig that's doing well to see which one of these metrics is doing poorly. Now, let's take a look at that. So the blue one is the Cimarron, the red one is another one. You can see right away at the bottom right, that's the metric that's off. It should be flat, but now it's trending down. So clearly, it's helping me investigate this information. Up to this point, I've been able to show you how you can find, search, use information, but I'm getting to a point where my knowledge is limited. I actually need to connect with my engineering expert to see, okay, what happens when the whole pressure is off? What happens when this metric is off? Well, how do you do that today? Well, in your organization, you might be calling somebody or calling a meeting maybe. Well, using the integration of SharePoint with unified communications here, I'm able to actually identify somebody on my team here and find the person that might have the answer to my problem. That's Steve Masters. You can see he's available. So I'm just going to click on his name, and now I'm going to be able to communicate with him. So, and again, to show you how quickly I can type, I'm asking what's going on. So he's typing as well. But basically what he's explaining to me is that there's a whole pressure problem, and what you should really do is bring in a contractor so they can come out and solve that sand issue. Okay. Well, thank you, Steve. We're going to go ahead and do that. So I don't know what it relates to in your organization, but typically when you need to bring a vendor, it's not really an automated process. You have to probably go to your procurement department, work with a few analysts to find out who's the best person to come out. And it requires for you to go out and take a look at data that's spread out through the organization. Well, again, using the power of SharePoint combined with SQL Server, we have the ability to surface contractor database right here in an interface that's very intuitive for me to work with. Let me show you what a contractor database looks like in SharePoint. Okay, so if you're able to book a movie ticket on the website, you're going to be able to perform the search I'm going to show you in a few minutes. This is how simple this is, and again, this is why Microsoft is different. So you can see on the left here, that's my live map. And I'm going to say, just select the Cimarron all rig, that's the one, and look at what's happening on the left while I'm doing that. I'm going to say it's an equipment maintenance problem, and I'm in a little bit of a hurry, so let's pick somebody fairly reliable within 250 miles. Let's search for that. Okay, now I've got 5 different examples. You can see again, I've got information about these contractors, so I can take a look at their rating, their address, their phone numbers, all the metadata that's available to me through the database. So now I'm getting really confident this application really is doing what I want it to do. So I'm just going to say, just give me somebody that's highly reliable. I mean, what I'm providing you with is fairly complex. You're searching through a large database and you're displaying this information through a visual map. So again, I'm looking at the different organizations. You know, this one has a rating of 80, so that looks like the one I'm going to want to bring in and operate my oil rig. Now at this point, what happens is this particular oil rig is probably going to be on hold while it's on repair. How do I let the rest of the team know that there's going to be maybe a little delay in production? Well, you notice up to here, I've been able to do all these things without moving from the very simple application of SharePoint. I go back to my main screen, and I'm going to leave an announcement. And in here, using the collaboration capabilities of SharePoint, and again, showing you how quickly I've done this demo so many times now. I just can type it so fast. Here, I forgot a space here. There you go. But in any case, now I'm able to commit this note, and when my people on my team come into this site, this is the first screen they're going to see. They're going to see this note is new, and they now are able to know what's going on and what I've done about this vendor. Now, so I've been able to show you how you can find, search, use information, collaborate with your people in order to make better decisions. This afternoon, we have a session at 3 in the Tejo room. I might be pronouncing this poorly, so I'm going to spell it T-E-J-O. We're going to be talking about business intelligence and how it drives a culture of performance. So if you have any questions, I'll be there. With that, Bruno, thank you for your attention, and thanks for your time. Thanks.